Hello everyone, this is Paula from cropnotesandcrafts.blogspot.com. You know, these are great if you can get a hold of a pair of wire cutters like these. I'll explain that in a minute why that's important. The other thing that you're going to need is some jewelry pliers. These are round nose. Okay. And these are half round. Can you see that? These are really handy to have. So if you buy your jewelry findings and you just want to make your own beaded charms, these are really the only three tools that you really need to have. Now, if you want to make your own head pins, and the head pin is, this is a jewelry finding, and see that looks like the head of a straight pin. That's called a head pin. And you string your put your beads onto this wire, and then you form a loop. Okay, this is another type. I'm coming in a little closer so you can see this a little better. Okay, now this is a head pin that I made. These are brass. And then here's another one that I made, a little clover leaf. And then this is a plain standard head pin that I purchased. And this is one that I purchased, although you can make them that look like this. And this is one that I made. Okay, if you want to make your own head pins, in addition, you'll need a hard surface and some type of a small hammer, because you'll need to harden up your wire a little bit once you're finished. So typically you're going to want to use anywhere from, you know, if you want a head pin that's a heavy wire, then you might want to use a 20 gauge wire. Otherwise a 22 gauge would work just fine. And you can use the wire that you can find in the craft store that's painted. That works fine too. I just don't happen to have any of that with me right now. And so let's first talk about these pliers. The reason, you know, if you're doing a lot of beadwork, the reason these are important, and I know there are a lot of videos out there about how to make these for your for your scrapbooks, but there are some key points that are missed on the videos that I've seen thus far. I know this is so fine and really difficult to see, but these pliers, the way they're made, I'm going to get a flush cut. You know, which if my pliers are facing this direction on my my wire this way, okay. On this side, I'm going to get a flush cut. On this side, it's going to be a sharp cut. So when you're finishing off your pieces, you want to get that nice flush cut. So if this is where I was done twisting my wire and I was going to end it, this is the way I would want to cut it, this direction. Okay? Not, and I've seen people do this, not like this. Okay? If you cut it this direction, this is going to be sharp. If you turn your pliers around this way, you're going to get a much cleaner and nicer cut. Okay? So that's why that's important. Okay, now if you were going to make a head pin, I'm going to use these pliers. I'm going to make this oversized so that you can see it a little bit better. I wish I had some really large wire so you could see it better, but I don't. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the wire, these are my round nose pliers, and I'm placing the wire in there, and I don't want it to stick up at all. I want that to be down in there so that when I make my twist, that I get this nice circle. Okay, so now I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to complete my circle. Now, well, that doesn't look right. We're not quite done yet. So what we're going to do is make the circle. Okay, this way. And then I'm going to come back with my half round, and I'm going to put a 90-degree on that. Okay, now I have the right shape. So I could just cut this off whatever length that I wanted and put my beads on there and finish this off. Another thing, if you're making your own wires and your wire is coiled, then these nylon tipped pliers are really handy, because when you unroll, see, when you unroll your wire, if you take your nylon tip pliers and see what I'm doing here so that straightens out. See how much nicer that is? That's what you want those for. Okay, now okay, so when you actually make your loop here at the end, you actually want to do that with the very tip of the pliers. If I have this down on the very tip and I turn this, then I will get a nice little loop. Now I did this with 20 gauge, so that's a little bit large and a little bit stiff. Let me get this so you can see it. There we go. But if I did that with 22 gauge, that would be just about right. Okay? So you just put that, make your loop just with the very tip of the nose of the plier. Okay, I've got it on there. Now we need to finish it. We need to make a loop on top so that we can put a fastener on the end of this. So the first thing I like to do is take my half round pliers and put about a 90-degree turn on that. Then come in with the round nose pliers. Okay. And I'm going to make this large so you can see it. You know, typically it would be down here on the tip, but I'm going to make it really large so that you can see this. So I'm going to wrap this. Here we go. Okay, so now we have this. Not quite done. Now I could come in with my pliers and I could snip this, and that would be fine. But if we want to make this a little bit higher quality piece, and we don't want it to fall off and get lost, let me zoom out just a little bit here. Then once we have a ring made, we're going to take this and we're going to twist it. So as long as you get that around, okay. Now I'm going to come in and clip this off. I know it's a little bit misshapen, but we can fix that. Now, I have just this little bit here of the wire sticking out, so I'm going to come in with my half round pliers because I want that flat part. Come in here, get a hold of that tip, and twist it down, press it down. Almost got it. Okay, now that's down pretty good. It's a little bit twisted, so let's just shape that up a little bit. And we are all done.